Hello everyone, you're welcome back to my channel. My name is Inka. So in today's tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you how to cut flare for the down part of your dress, or you can also use it as a skirt if you want. All right, for this tie today, you need two major measurements: the length of the flare and the waist circumference. Those are the two major measurements that you need. Okay, so for this tutorial, you need your waist circumference and the length of the skirt. So if you're making a skirt, you need the length of the skirt and the waistband circumference. But if you're attaching it to a dress, you need to subtract the waist length from the total gown length. Like in my own case, I'm making it into a dress. So my client's waist length is 62. The first thing I will do is to minus the waist length from it. And waist length is 17. So 62 minus 17, that will give me 45. So the length of the skirt in my own case now is 45. Okay, then the next thing is the waist circumference. The waist circumference is your waist round circumference. Okay, so my client's waist round circumference is 32.5. 32.5. So for this waist circumference, you know it's going to have zip. I'm just going to add 2 inches to it as the zip allowance. So the waist circumference will now be 32.5 plus 2, which is going to be 34.5. Okay, so the waist I'm using now is 34.5. Okay, so the next thing again, don't forget, don't get confused, it's easy, just listen to the way I'm explaining it. Once you have ascertained the length that you want and the waist circumference, the next thing you have to do is now to start your calculations. You need to calculate the radius for your circumference. Okay, radius for your circumference, and because it's a flare, it's a long one from your waist all the way to the hemline, we are going to be cutting it as an half circle. So formula for calculating the radius for half circle is circumference divided by 3.14. okay, so in my own case, the waist circumference is 34.5. so if you divide 34.5 by 3.14, that is going to give me 10.9. 10.9. Let's just say 11 so that it's easy for us to use. Okay, the radius is 11 and the length we are working with here now is 45. So first thing you have to do is to open your fabric. You open your fabric this way, then you fold it downward into 2 like this. This part here is going to be on fold. This upper part here is going to be on fold. Okay, this part here is open. Here is open. Okay, so you need to measure the length here. For you to determine the length that you're going to measure here now, is your radius plus the length of the skirt. The radius we calculate is 11 and the length that we want is 45, right? So you're going to add 11 plus 45, and that's going to give me 55. So the length I need here is 55. But you need to add your seam allowance that you use and bend the down part of the flare. I usually use 1 because if it's more than 1, it's always difficult to hem. Okay, so I usually use 1. So 55 plus 1 will be 56. So the length that you need here is 56. So make sure you have 56. Adjust and readjust until you have the 56. Okay, exactly 56. So from the top here, you just measure until you have your 56. 56, this is too much. So I'm going to readjust and readjust until I have the length that I desire. So this is like 57. Let's just leave it like that so that we can just, after rotating, we'll trim it off. Okay, make sure you arrange it very well. Let everything be flat, nice and flat. So don't forget, this part here is on fold, and here you have your length. Your length is your skirt length plus the length of the radius that you calculate. That's the length that you have here. Okay, so the next thing you want to do now is to just look at the way I'm going to fold it. So next thing you are going to do now is for you to fold it like this. Just hold this folded part, this folded part, hold it like this and bring it like this to form a cone here. Can you see? Okay, so when you bring the folded edge to this point, it stops here, whereas our length is here. Okay, our length is here. Can you see our length is here? So don't worry about it. I'll tell you what we'll do to it later. The next thing you will do is for you to rotate. You rotate that length that we calculate, which is 56, right? So just place your tape measure on this edge, this sharp edge that you have here, the tip of the cone. Place your tape on it like this. Place your tape on it this way, and then you are going to rotate that length that we calculate. The length we calculate is radius length plus the total skirt length. So the radius is 11, the length of the skirt is 45, and when we sum it, we have 55. Then we added extra 1 for the hemi allowance, and that gives us 56. So we are going to rotate the 56 here. So from here, you are going to rotate 56. Okay, rotate 56 like this. You just use one hand to hold the tip, and then you are going to be moving your tape measure and be rotating that 56. Okay, rotate the 56. When you reach where your hand cannot reach, you can move the fabric so that you can still see very well. 56, don't forget we are rotating 56, and this is 56. So once you are done, you're going to connect the points together. $56, right? Can you see 56? We rotate 56. Okay, so once you have it, you can cut it out. You cut it out. So I've cut it out now. So this is what you have. So the next thing you're going to do is to rotate your radius as well. So from the top here again, still hold this place and rotate the radius. The radius is 11, right? So you rotate 11. Rotate 11. Rotate 11 like this. Can you see? So once you have the 11, you connect the points together, and after that you're going to add your same allowance of ½ inch upward. So just put ½ inch like this, because you need to sew it, right? So add your same allowance. Connect it. So this ½ inch is what you are going to use to attach it to the upper part of the blouse. Okay, or if you are making a skirt, you use it to attach it to the band. So when you are cutting, you cut here. Okay, so you don't need this cone again. You trash the cone. So we are almost done. So the next thing you have to do, can you see? You can see this is where this is stopping here. You need to add to it to make up the length that you want. This is the length that we want, and the upper part here is stopping here, right? So you need to join to it. So just take it like this. Can you see? See this one here. You see, this is the part. This part that I'm showing you now is the part that was cut off from here. You can see we still have some angle here, so you don't need to waste your fabric. Just fold it like this. So just fold it like this. So when you're making a dress and it's having flare, it is advisable you cut the flare first. At every point, make sure you cut the flare first. So you fold it. See the way I'm folding? It's just the edge. There's no formula, there's no magic to this. Just find where you are going to cut, but so that you not waste your fabric. That's why I said just use the angle that was removed from here, so that this part here can still serve purpose instead of just using big fabric to join to it. Okay, So you fold it the way I'm doing now. Then you place it here to make up for the length. So once you have it this way, you are going to pin them together with 1/2 inch. Pin them to with 1/2 inch. Make sure it is well aligned before you proceed. Pin together with 1/2 inch. And this is how it's looking. So the next thing you have to do is to turn it upside down like this. Look at the way I've turned it. Turn it upside down and arrange it well. Make sure it is well arranged. And once you turn it upside down, can you see? You have to now trim to the shape that you have here. See the shape here? So just trim it off to that shape, okay? Can you see? So we are done cutting the flare. So if you turn it back, can you see the way it is? So everything is now equal. It's equal now. See that place I will pin. So what you have to do is just for you to notch. So can you see? This is the folded edge, and this is going to be the center front, and this is going to be the center back. Okay, this last two is going to be the last center back. So before you pieces this, see we pin here to this part. You have to notch here so that by the time you want to join, you will know where to match them. So just notch. So we are done. If you open it up, you have a giant flare. A very giant flare. Okay, that's what you have. And you open it, you have a giant flare. Can you see? Giant flare, right? Okay, so this is that part that we pin. You can now take off your pin and you pin properly so that it's easy for you to sew now. So if you open it up, this is my notching, and at this other piece, this is also my notching. So you match the notch together, right side to right side, right side to right side, match the notch together and pin. Then you continue pinning to the end of the joining, right? Pin together nicely. So you have to take to your sewing machine now and join together with 1/2 inch allowance. Join together with 1/2 inch allowance. So I'm done joining it together. You can see, and this is how it's looking. All done. So the next thing now is just to end the down part. We added just 1 inch, so just fold accordingly. See, I'll first bend it like this, and after that I'll bend it like this and make a stitch. If you would like to see how I made the upper parts, let me know in the comment section so that I can upload the tutorial. That'll be all for today.